In this Ellerton Associates Technology Training Tip of the Month, we'll be looking at some new features of Outlook 2016. Okay, here I am in Outlook 2016. Now, I do want to point out that the new features I'm going to show you assume that you're upgrading from Outlook 2010 to 2016. A few of these things were actually introduced in 2013 if you also use that version. Also, I'm not showing you all the new features, just a few I thought would be fun to highlight for the video. There are others that you can look at. Now, the first one I'm going to show you is just around unread messages versus read messages. Now, this particular inbox has only 4 messages in it, and you can tell that the first one is unread because it is bold on the subject line, blue, and it has a blue border on the left. And when I point at that blue border, note it becomes thicker, and in fact, if I click, it does mark that message as read. So I can easily toggle a message between read and unread simply by clicking the left side. Here, I'll make this one unread as well. So that's kind of nice, a lot easier than in previous versions. Also, you have an easy to get at unread filter. Now, again, this inbox only has 4 messages. Most inboxes have a few more than that, and a mixture of read versus unread. So if I just want to see the unread messages, I can just click unread, and now the list is filtered just for unread messages. And I can go to all to bring back all of my messages. I'm going to go ahead and mark that one as read again. So that's a nice thing. So another thing that has been enhanced is some of the actions around attachments. So for a moment, I'm going to go over to Word. I have Microsoft Word up on a blank document. I haven't saved it yet. I'm going to type a letter. I'm actually just going to type, "This is a letter." Okay, let's say it's an actual letter. I'm going to close and save it. Okay, so I'll save it. I'm going to put it on my desktop, and I will name it letter. Now, you'll see in a moment why it was important to know that that was a brand new document I just saved. But I've got it on my desktop, and my idea is I'm going to send it off to someone to review later on, so I'll need to attach it to an email. So I'm ready to do that. I'm going to come up to Home, click New Email. I'll address this to Danielle, and I'll say, "Please review." And I'll say, "I have attached a letter draft to send to clients. Please review it for me and let me know what to change." Jane. All right. So I didn't attach the letter, but I'm going to click send because we do that a lot, and look what Outlook does. It says you may have forgotten to attach a file. It's also saying if you don't like this particular feature, you can turn it off, but that actually is pretty slick. It's prevented me from sending a few messages without attachments. Why does it know? It's because I very specifically mentioned the attachment. So this is contingent on there being evidence within the body of the message that an attachment is supposed to be there. Basically, you've written out that you've attached something and didn't do so. So if I just write a message that in some way is not so obviously mentioning the attachment or doesn't mention it at all, well, this is not going to happen because Outlook won't be able to tell that I had meant to attach one. But I was very clear about it, and so it does notice I didn't attach it. So I can say don't send or send anyway. I'm going to say don't send. Wait a minute, I meant to attach that. Now here's probably the coolest thing. I'm going to come up to message now, and here's my attached file. And you have a list of items you've dealt with recently. And that doesn't even mean items you've attached recently. It's all the files you've worked with recently. So look what's at the top there. The letter I just wrote and saved to my desktop, which was brand new. I had never attached it to any Outlook emails before. So it's there because it simply was a document I worked with. And Outlook will list those for you, knowing that if you work with a document, you are likely going to go and attach it to an email later. So there it is. I'll click it, and it is now attached. Notice also that the attachment has a drop-down where I can do some things like print it, remove it, copy it, that other versions of Outlook didn't have next to each attachment. You just saw their names there. I am ready to go. I'm going to send this off. Now, one more thing I'm going to show you about the way Outlook 2016 handles replies or forwards. By default, it'll do them inline. So if you look, I've got the reading pane displayed, and this is contingent on having the reading pane displayed, which it is by default. But I'm going to go ahead and here for this message from Danielle, I'm just going to write back and say something like, "Okay, thanks, please let me know by the end of next week." And when I click reply, notice it doesn't automatically pop up a new window with the reply. The reply is right in the reading pane. And so if you don't have to do a lot of fancy stuff to the message, that's actually more convenient. You know, I can just say, "Thanks, please let me know next week." All right, and then I can just send it, and it's sent. It never popped up. Now, the same is true of reply all or forward. So if I take this message from Patrice and I decide I want to forward it to Danielle, I'll go ahead and forward it. And again, it's an inline forward. Notice I have the message header right here. The attachment is there, and I can add a message. I'll just say, I thought you would like to see this too. Now, here's the thing. When you're in an inline reply or forward, if you look up at the ribbon, you do have a Compose Tools tab. So if you look, it's just one tab called Message. So I can cut and copy stuff. I can do some basic formatting. I can have a file attachment. And again, I have that convenient recent list of files that I've worked with. I can attach an Outlook item or a signature. But if you're used to Messages in Outlook, you know that it can do a lot more than this. I can insert graphics. I can insert tables, charts, diagrams. There's a lot more formatting available. Well, there is, but not for inline. So inline is a convenient way to pop off just a very simple reply or forward with the real basics from the Message tab. But note that if I do want to do any of those advanced formatting or insert some of those advanced objects like tables or charts, I can pop it out. Notice I can even discard it. When I've done that plenty of times where I started a response and then decided to abandon it, so I could just go ahead and click discard. Okay, so now that's all over with. I'm going to go ahead and forward again though. And once again, I'll address it to Danielle. And once again, I'll say, you might like this too. Now, let's say I do want to do one of those more advanced things. I can click pop out. And now it does pop out, and now all those other options are here. So the options you would have been used to in previous versions by default, message, insert, options, format, text, etc. And if I use some of those, I can then go ahead and send the thing along. So that is just a few of the new features of Outlook 2016. Thanks for watching. To learn more about our classes, please visit us at www.ellertraining.com.